What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Realistic Crew Mode Ipswich. This is episode number 9. As you can see there, George Hurst last-minute heroics for the second FA Cup round in a row. We've won the game late in extra time, this time beating Hull. George Hurst scoring in the 123rd minute, I think it was, to set up a 5th round tie at home to Burnley, which you will see in today's episode. We also played 3 league games, didn't win any of them, but we got 2 draws and 1 defeat. Started off the episode with a 3-1 home defeat to Man City. It was a topsy-turvy game, actually. We kind of went back and forth. City grabbed early goals, but then went down to 10 men. Nathan Naka getting a straight red. We made it 2-1, but then City kind of flexed their muscles and completed the double over us. But then we got 2 really kind of polar opposite draws. We drew away at Anfield 1-1, which was a fantastic result. And to be honest, it was a game we probably should have won. And then we drew 0-0 at home to Southampton, which was a very disappointing result. So it's weird how draws, ultimately they're the same result, right? You get the same outcome from them, but they can be very different. But we picked up 2 points. One in the cup. Sorry, we're through to the last 16 against Burnley, and you'll see that in today's episode. Also in today's episode, you'll see us take on Villa, Tottenham, and Man United in 3 pretty tough Premier League matches as we look to continue our good form in the league. We're currently 14th right now, lowest scorers in the league, but we do have the best defence, as that is shown by Ariana Muric being the joint top Golden Glove leader. We're going into this one, Villa away at Villa Park. Unai Emery's side, second in the league right now. 8 points off Man City at the top of the table. They did beat us 2-0 at Portman Road. They kind of cruised to that victory. We didn't really push them. So we're looking to get a bit of a response here. And, Villa have actually only won one of their last 5. So for us, it's potentially a chance to get some redemption for that defeat. Well, both keepers would be tested in the first half, but there wasn't too much going on. And then in the second half, 20 minutes to go, Amari Hutchinson driving inside, finds Jack Clark on the edge of the box. Jack Clark's going to release a shot, and he gives us a 1-0 lead. I think only his second goal of the season. He scored that really nice goal at Fulham, didn't he? The outside the box goal. So Jack Clark gets his second goal of the season, and he gives us a 1-0 lead, goes and celebrates with those travelling away fans. Liam Delap kind of getting a screen off Emi Martinez, NHL style. Love that, and we have a 1-0 lead. This was a bit annoying because so we've obviously loaned Ogbene to Aston Villa for the rest of the season, and he was on the bench for the team. I think he actually came on in the second half, and it's really disappointing because obviously if a player is on loan from a team, he won't be able to play against them in England, right? And I just wish that EA would implement that rule, because too many times I loan a player from a team, and when I play them, like when we play Man City, I don't play Calvin Phillips because he's on loan from Man City. I wish the game would implement those rules as well. But nevertheless, with Ogbene, without Ogbene, we actually won this one 1-0. A huge victory away from home. Another 3 points and another clean sheet for Muric as well. As you can see there, top of the clean sheets charts right now. 8 clean sheets in 25 games. That is, honestly, that's fantastic for Muric. I'm really, really impressed with him with that ratio. I think that's just, for a newly promoted side, I think that's class. And yeah, it's another great victory on the road. As you can see there, we now have a 5-point gap to Nottingham Forest and the relegation zone. That is class. Hutchinson in the team of the week as well. But so we enter the second game of the episode, and it is Tottenham Hotspur visiting Portman Road. And Christian Romero has 3 goals in his last 3. That's not really something you see from a defender. And then we've got the tifo up of Muric, the leader of the Golden Glove race. Looking to make it actually a league double over Ange Postecoglou's side. We got a really famous win in North London earlier in the season, a 1-0 win. Jack Clark with the assist, swinging in a corner, and Jacob Greaves grabbed his first goal as an Ipswich player to give us a 1-0 win in North London. It was a really good result, actually. So we're looking to complete an unlikely league double over Tottenham and extend our gap over the relegation zone by even further. Well, we are unchanged from the side that won at Villa Park, so still, honestly, I'm still quite happy with the team right now. Obviously, Morsey's out injured, but we brought in Vinny Souza, and he's playing pretty well, and I'm pretty impressed with how the team is getting on so far. Smolix, I think maybe we could see a little bit more from him. Obviously, Wilfred Nonto, now that we've brought him in, will be knocking on the door for a starting position soon. But for now, I think we're actually playing pretty well, and our confidence was high, and that you could see that in the early stages of this one. We actually dominated this game, and we're playing some nice football, pinging some passes around in the Tottenham final third, and then we were looking for an opening. And even when we lost the ball, we were forcing Tottenham into mistakes, as you can see there. I think that was a doggy kicking the ball out. We were keeping the pressure up and keeping our press high as we tried to defeat a side who are in the fourth in the league right now. I know that we're looking for a double over Tottenham, but they are fourth in the league right now, so they are hot in form as well. They've won 3 of their last 4. But look, if we can keep this pressure up and get an early goal, I think that would really suit us, and Portman Road would get behind us as we dink a ball in there. Leif Davis, he's just been brilliant this season. Leif Davis, as Amari Hutchinson forces Vicario into a save. Yeah, for me, Leif Davis has just been phenomenal. I think he's been class this season, potentially our player of the season. Don't forget, guys, I will get you to vote on your player of the season, signing of the season, and young player of the season as well. So keep your eyes out for players that you think will be worthy of those awards. Well, going into the second half, our dominance would kind of ease off and Tottenham would grow into this one. And Brennan Johnson, well, he is the man everyone's talking about right now. In real life, Johnson has scored 7 goals in his last 7 games. He's scored in his last 7 games for club and country. Scored for Wales in international duty, and then scored in his last 6 for Tottenham as well. It's great to see. Honestly, it's really cool to see, because before that, his confidence was low. He was getting a lot of abuse online. He's since deleted his social media accounts, and it seems to has just relieved him. It's kind of taken that stress away from him, and now he is performing like the player that Tottenham knew he could be. And he would give his side a 1-0 lead here, and then Son would capitalise on Phillips losing the ball and make it 2-0 with just over 10 minutes to go, and it seemed like that would be game wrapped up. And then James Maddison making it 3-0 to Tottenham. Again, a mistake from us, a turnover. Jacob Greaves turning over the ball, and he was punished. Look, what I will say is, when you play the AI on these high difficulties, if you give the ball away, you will be punished 9 times out of 10. They are just so clinical, and that shows here. We lose this one 3-0. In my eyes, it was never a 3-0 game. I thought first half in particular, we were fantastic. But it doesn't matter if you dominate the ball, if you don't take your chances, you will be punished. And I'm happy with the performance, but thankfully we have got a nice gap over the relegation zone, so I'm not too worried about these results at the moment. But you can easily get clawed back in, and right now we're only 4 points above Brentford. So look, if they win a game, we lose a game, all of a sudden we're right back amongst it, as Brighton get a big win against Southampton, Forest pick up a point at Newcastle, and Bournemouth a big 3 points against Wolves. So those sides at the bottom are really starting to pick up results, as Connor Chaplin comes to us and says, look, boss, I've been playing pretty well recently. I want to start the game against Man United, and I'll keep that in mind, considering it is a midweek game as well. We probably will have to make changes. But before that third game, it is time for our Egypt scouting report, and Nasser Hassan here looks fantastic. 83 to 94 potential. The overall is a little bit low, but the potential is very much there. So I reckon we'll probably give him a scholarship. These guys, yeah, their potentials don't look great. I mean, Abdullah, decent potential, 75 to 94. It's not too bad. Aziz Ahmed, we'll get rid of him. But then, so we're left with these two, Nasser Hassan. We'll continue scouting them for a further season and see what they can offer us in the next month. As we head into the third game of the episode, Man United away at Old Trafford. Eric Ten Hag's side are 7th right now in the league, 46 points on the board. But they're only 4 points off the top 4, so they are chasing a Champions League spot. They've won their last 2 and 4 of their last 5, so this is definitely going to be a tough task. We make one change to the side that lost to Tottenham. Connor Chaplin said he wanted to get a start. So do you know what, Connor? You've got that start. Prove to us why you should maybe be starting ahead of Liam Delap. I know Delap's our top scorer, but he has also missed a lot of chances. So maybe if Chaplin was to really put his name on the map in today's game, perhaps he could be pushing Delap for a starting place. Well, in the reverse fixture, it was heartbreak. Man United winning 2-1 with a 90th minute win. I think that was the same episode we lost to a Palace 90th minute as well. Really heartbreaking episode, that one. So we're going to look to bounce back and see what we can do on the road again. Look, we've been fantastic on the roads. So hopefully we can make it back-to-back away wins after our 1-0 win at Villa Park. Well, We would look to release Connor Chaplin there, but well defended by Man United. Well, it would be a slow start from both teams, but 25 minutes on the clock. Vinny Souza would look to get Ipswich on the counter-attack. Omari Hutchinson on the right-hand side drives into Connor Chaplin. Lissandro Martinez dives in, and Connor Chaplin just says, "Thank you, Lissandro." Oh, vacate that space and put the shot in the top corner. And Chaplin, he wanted a start. He has started, and he's rewarded us with a goal. Not sure what Martinez was doing in the just diving in there so needlessly, allowing the space. But Chaplin, props to him, driving the shot forward into the top corner, just inside the box. And Ipswich are doing it again on the road, man. We are such a road team. I don't know what it is about it. Normally, as I mentioned earlier, it's normally when you're a newly promoted side, you want to make your home games. Those are the ones, tough ones, for your oppositions to win, right? You want to make your home stadium a fortress. And to be fair, we have won a couple of games at home, but we've been much better on the road, and we're looking for another scalp here as Chaplin looks to grab his and Ipswich's second of the game, but it was a good save by Onana. But we were definitely growing into this one, and Leif Davis down the right-hand side finds Chaplin with a gorgeous ball, and it should be two. He could have had a hat-trick, really, Connor. And are we going to be punished for not taking our chances just like against Tottenham? Well, Højlund dances around a couple of defenders. Looks to find Marcus Rashford, who's in behind. Rashford doesn't shoot. Plays it out wide to Ahmad instead. Ahmad drives into the box. Plays it to Højlund. Great block from Wolfenden. That was a manual block as well. It still comes to Højlund. He hits the post. That block from Wolfenden, honestly, a second half substitute. There's nothing more satisfying in FC when you do a manual slide tackle block. It is so satisfying. And that one right there from Wolfenden stopped the goal as Nonto looks to drive forward. The ball's given away, but Chaplin again can't finish his dinner. He could have at least had a hat-trick today, Chaplin, as we enter injury time here. Ipswich just looking to do anything they can to slow the play, and Luongo is going to take a yellow card there. I absolutely love this feature, by the way. I know it can be very annoying for your opposition and if you're on the receiving end, but it's so realistic, right? Players do this. You see players all the time, rugby tackle players, pull their shirts, take them down because they know it just takes, they take a yellow card, they take one for the team, and it allows their team to reset. I love that they've added this feature into the game. And this is exactly what Luongo would have done in that situation. He would have taken the yellow card, slowed the play down, allowed Ipswich to get men behind the ball, and ultimately it helped us secure yet another big victory on the road. We've done it again, man. We are the road kings. Ipswich Town, not only another big scalp, but it's another clean sheet as well. Another one for Muric. That's 2 this episode, and he is up to 9 now. Connor Chaplin with the Man of the Match award, a 9.5 rating for the forward. So, I mean, look at us. What's that now? Tottenham, Villa, and Man United, all 1-0 wins away from home. We drew at Liverpool 1-0. We beat Brighton away 2-1. We've been fantastic on the road this season, have the Tractor Boys. And that win takes us up to 13th place. 30 points on the board, 6 above the relegation zone. They say 40 is the magic number, don't they? But I seem to find in FC games, there are teams that are just very bad down the bottom. I'm hoping I'm wrong because a relegation scrap would be really fun. It'd be really cool to be a part of. As you see, Bournemouth picked up a win. Brentford picked up a point as well. But yeah, we've got a nice little cushion to the relegation zone right now as we head into the 4th and final game of the episode. Turn our attentions to FA Cup duty as we take on Burnley, the side who are 4th in the Championship right now, so flying high. They've won their last 2 rounds 2-1 away from home. We've won our last 2 rounds 1-0 at home, so something's got to give, right? I remember as well, those that are fans of the channel and watched our realistic career mode with Wrexham on FC25, you'll remember that when we got to the Premier League, we replaced Burnley, who got relegated to the Championship. We hosted them in an FA Cup tie, and they battered us. I think it was like 7-1 or something. It was actually our heaviest defeat in the career mode. It was a really embarrassing defeat. I think Emmanuel Dennis in particular was flying. Might have even scored a hat-trick for the Clarets. So I'm wary of Burnley. I know their threat, and Scott Parker and his side would definitely look to come to Portman Road and cause an upset. But we are in decent form as well. We'll look to complete the board's objective, which was to make the last 16, which we have done here. So if we can win this game, we'll be through to the quarterfinals. And who knows, man? Magic of the FA Cup, you never ever know. As we get our English scouting report here, Lewis Nash looks decent. 78 to 92 potential. Frankie Gale and Mason George also looking not too bad. We actually give Nash a scholarship deal. Daniel Woods, another player who looks decent, although 5'5" for a centre back. I'm not too sure about that one. We'll probably have to change his position. He is also 14 though, so probably he is going to grow as well. I have to give props to EA. They've allowed younger players into the youth scouting reports now, and obviously, when you're 14, 15, you are quite small, and they'll grow in age and stature, and and in potential as well. So I do really respect that EA have massively improved the youth academy game this season. I also know that I think that in one of their updates coming up soon, they are going to touch on the fact that when you scout some nations, a lot of the players have the same last name. I think that they are going to change that. So I don't think it'll be implemented in career modes that have already started, unfortunately. But if you're going to start a new career mode, know that you're not going to be scouting a small nation and have every player with the same last name, which just kind of kills the realism a little bit, doesn't it? Because I don't want to, with our Egypt scout report, not every player was called Hassan, but a lot of them were. And I don't want to have like 4 or 5 Hassans in my team just for the realism, right? How many times do you see that in a team? So I'm glad that they're touching on that and they are listening to the response from the community. Well, heading to the fourth final game of the episode, as we mentioned, as we went in the build-up, it is Burnley coming to Portman Road as we look to make it, back-to-back wins in the episode, make it 3 wins from 4 in the episode, but look to secure our place in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We make 4 changes from the side that beat Man United, so I obviously will rotate in the Cup as normal, but now we're getting to the latter stages, and we don't have a match for another 6 days, I think it is. I am going to play a pretty strong team. So in come Wolfenden, Luongo, Nonto, and Delap. As they come in for, I think, O'Shea, Phillips, Chaplin, and is it Amari Hutchinson? I think he's come in for as well. As 8 minutes on the clock, and Leif Davis, wearing the armband, once again gets us on the score sheet for the perfect start. Look, it's D&D connection once again, but it's reversed this time. Delap finding Davis, and Davis with just his 2nd goal of the season. Leif Davis wearing the armband for the side in the absence of Sam Morsey. His only other goal was in the 2-1 victory at Brighton. I think it was on match day 3, was it? He scored that late winner. It was a beautiful goal. Our first 3 points on the board, and he now gets on the score sheet again. And then in the second half, 60 minutes on the clock, Liam Delap is fed the ball by Smodix, I think that was, and he fires it into the top corner, and we lead 2-0. And then after that, I make a couple of changes, with that game in 6 days' time, and it looks like we've potentially got this one wrapped up. I want to give some of my players a bit of a rest. Johnson, Clark, and Vinny Souza all coming off for the last 20 or so minutes. Well, with about 15 minutes to go, Lyle Foster would have a great chance, but Muric would come in with a save. But Fleming would grab the rebound. I mean, honestly, how many times do you find this in FC when your keeper blocks a shot and the ball just goes directly to an opposition player, not even like close to where they are, so it's like a 50-50, it just goes immediately to them. It's so frustrating, and I feel like it happens so often, but all of a sudden the half is deficit and we are under pressure. And George Hurst, well, he scored in the last round, he almost scored in this one, his shot crashed off the bar, and then wow, Burnley against all odds equalise. They scored twice in the last 15 minutes, and Fleming grabs his 2nd goal of the game, a nice little cut back, and he puts it into the bottom corner, and it looks like we are heading to extra time for a 3rd round in a row. Although Burnley with the whipped ball in, headed out by Townsend. Get it away, please. Just get me to extra time now. How we've thrown this one away, I do not know. Obviously, we can still win it, but we should have had this one wrapped up in 90 minutes. Leading 2-0 going into the final 12 minutes. That's not acceptable against a Championship side, even with a rotated team. Well, in extra time, Burnley would actually start the better. Trezor finding Pires. Pires driving into the box. He's actually intercepted, but then wins the ball back. Forces a save from Muric, and Ipswich get to work on a counter-attack. Broadhead brought into the side today. Luongo out wide to Hurst, to Smodix, who finds Nonto. Go on, Willie, grab your first goal for Ipswich. What a moment this would be. Nonto! Oh, it's off the bar. Oh, that could have been an unreal moment. Nonto grabbing his first goal for Ipswich, and it would have been the winner potentially. We're into the second half of extra time now. We won 2 previous rounds in these 15 minutes. Are we going to do it? Sammy Smolix tries to get taken down. He's got Nonto driving in behind. Willie, Nonto hit the bar in the first half. Can he grab his first goal for Ipswich? Yes, he can. Willie Nonto is the hero. And Ipswich once again look like they found a winner in the last minutes of extra time. We did it against Villa. We did it against Hull. And have we just done it against Burnley? 2-0 up. They brought it back to 2-2. And it looks like we're going to win this one with just a couple of minutes left. Willie Nonto with his first goal as a tractor boy. Portman Road goes crazy. Smolix with a beautiful run and assist. He hit the bar in the first 15 minutes of extra time. He doesn't make the same mistake twice. Willie Nonto with his first goal. And it looks like we're going to wrap this one up as we enter injury time in the second half. Broadhead finds Townsend. Is he onside? Yes, he is. Townsend into the middle, and George Hurst grabs his second goal in 2 rounds to seal this one. 123rd minute as well, I think, is just like in the goal against Hull in the last round. That was to win the game 1-0. Hurst secures the win here in the 123rd minute, and we made it hard for ourselves, but we got there in the end. And Ipswich are an FA Cup quarter-finalist. Yes, Ipswich fans will have a quarter-final to look forward to. Could we go on a cup? Who knows, man? Who knows? It depends who we get in the quarter-finals. It's definitely going to be interesting, but that rounds off another great episode for us, and we're really stringing these together right now. We're ahead of the relegation zone, which is ideal for us, and we're into the FA Cup quarter-finals. And if we keep performing like we did today, we are going to be safe. As you see some of the results there, Peterborough beating West Ham, Man United win, Newcastle beat Wickham, Plymouth beat Blackburn, Brentford beating Southampton, Leeds beating Bournemouth, and Brighton beating Sheffield United. I tell you what, this is going to be a mixed bag of quarter-finalists. Yeah, look at that. I mean, we have Newcastle away, which is one of the toughest ties. Look at those fixtures. Plymouth or Peterborough, one of those is going to be in the semi-final. That's unbelievable. Brentford play Man United, Brighton, Leeds. I mean, Newcastle away is a tough one. I think they're below us in the league right now, but could Ipswich go on a little cup run? Could we see us play at Wembley in the first season? Surely not. Well, guys, that will be it for today's episode. What an episode it was as well. 2 big away victories at Villa Park and Old Trafford, and a cup quarter final secured as well. Let me know if you're enjoying the series by dropping a like on the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in episode 10 very soon.